Hi, good afternoon. It's Gene from Maverickstar Observatory, and we've had a little drink here, so just bear with me. I will tell you why. I'm just shocked, that having completed on that last mission I set myself to build this laser so that we could transmit into the universe messages, I'm just surprised at how many patrons wasn't forthcoming with their videos. I mean, the deadline is tomorrow afternoon, the 17th, midday. And they're going to miss out on a massive opportunity here. This little thing that we've created, well, it's not so much little. I mean, if you think about it, we're the first on the block with interstellar communications. We've got a transceiver and a receiver, so we can transmit messages out into deep space, millions and millions of miles away, millions of years away, and we can receive as well. And just think about this: the Pentagon in America just came out and announced that we live in a world where there are extraterrestrials. So we've set up this new mobile phone telecommunication network for general public to use. Let's put that into perspective. Ring up NASA or the European Space Agency that have the capability to put messages out into space, and say you want this message put out into space, and it will come back with, yes, we can do it, but the cost of it will be zeros beyond your comprehension. There's a race at the moment to put people into space tourists. And, for a lot of us, that is just completely out of our, fundable, I don't know the word to find, but it's just beyond our capabilities of even achieving going up into some spaceship at the moment for a lot of us and experiencing that. But what is the next best thing? Putting some of your thoughts in a light capsule and having that jettisoned off the face of this earth. We live in a day and age where people very rarely look up, because they're always looking down. And I think you'll agree with me, if you look at people whilst they're walking around the streets these days, they've got the mobile phone and the head is down. And it's sad, because we live on such a small planet, and for some of us, we can travel around this world in 40 hours. It's not a problem. But here's an opportunity to communicate, put your thoughts out there into this universe, not just this galaxy. We can beam out the messages in 40 hours. We can pass Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Your message can pass that in 40 hours, and 80 hours later it's doubled its distance from Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Isn't that an opportunity? We've got the first interstellar communication system set up here. There's been hundreds and hundreds of hours gone into this, and there's just, at this moment, it seems, a lack of will to want to do that. What's happened to humans from to be put in such a state where such an opportunity comes along and they don't realise it? I knew, and I explained to the guys at Universal Light Message that this was well above its time. It shouldn't even exist here right now, and it shouldn't even be allowed for general public to use, but here it is. It's here right now. Just needs to be used. These patrons of ours support our observatory, and I'm really grateful for that. And I made a promise to them that I'd build this equipment and I would give them an opportunity to launch their message into space for free. And the numbers that have come forward so far are very small. I'm just so surprised, because here we are, and this is Star Trek stuff. I just, we can communicate with people off planet. It doesn't have to be on planet. We can now do it off planet. You know, this technology is delivered and it's out there, ready to go. And like I say, I can imagine how the first mobile telephone company, when they set up and said you can have these hands-free phones, you know, all you have to do is purchase it. It's the same thing here. This is grassroots on something so big, and I know some of you, John, I know you realise the potential of this. It's just, you know, we just have to break out this new technology to the rest of the world, because I don't believe that most people are not interested in the outer side world and what's going on out there. Look, the Pentagon admitted in weeks ago that there are extraterrestrials. Now, this beam of light that's going out there, you're messaging it. Do you think that they haven't, if they've got the technology to even be in our solar system, do you think they've not got the technology to decode a transmission in that beam of light? If you're going to communicate, you're going to do it at the speed of light. If you're going to travel, it's got to be at the speed of light or greater. And we just can't get our heads around going greater than the speed of light, because we haven't got nothing at the moment that can do that, other than transmissions of photons and encapsulating messages in them at this moment. We've got a platform here, we can deliver that for you. You know, this is the new mobile phone network, only it's off planetary. It is well above its time, I'll admit. It's going to take a bit of work to convince people that, you know, we can communicate now with other planets, other intelligent species, and they definitely exist. Would you really believe that the Pentagon right now wouldn't admit to such a thing if, you know, it's not going to be too long before we are even introduced to these entities? I'm just giving people an opportunity to communicate with them if they want. And these beams of light with your messages in will be received. And, you know, there's lots of things that can be done here. We can transmit it to specific spaces in the night sky. Different planets, different solar systems, different galaxies. And we can set up this communication device with the help even of some repeaters out in space at a later date, if ever we get there, so that we can regularly communicate. I'm just surprised. But in another way I'm not, you know, because it's brand new. You know, it's hard to introduce something so high tech to, you know, I suppose a generation of people which are slowly being, you know, controlled into believing that, you know, things are impossible in this world when they're not. You know, if you set yourself a mission and a target to achieve something in life, you can do it. And, you know, I've proved this many times. I hope that I've inspired, you know, just the ordinary man to do things, because, you know, I've been there. You know, I was there 5 years ago trying to learn how to code and write programs and build electronics to do what I wanted them to do, because there was no way I could reasonably, you know, take a reading every 3 seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There's no way I could do that accurately. But, you know, using electronics and programming them, you know, we can do things like that. I just really stuck for a few words, to be honest. We've opened a door for the general public to communicate with the rest of the universe. And I would have thought that people would have jumped on this right away and realised its, you know, significance. But I realise also that there is going to be a bit of a battle now with having to explain to people, you know, exactly what this potential is. And I shouldn't have to do that, because it should be, you know, self-explanatory. This is deep space communications, intergalactic communications. We have transmitters and receivers. It's a two-way thing, and we can point them at any designated star, planetary system in the universe, using some astrodynamics, of course, because it's all mathematical. You know, you have to account for the rotation of the speed of the Earth, you know, its orbit around the sun, and obviously if you're trying to hit a target, you have to put all these things into equations. But it's not unachievable. You know, if you want to target Cydonia on Mars, it's achievable. You know, if you want to send out a light capsule message to Andromeda Galaxy, it's achievable. Technology is there, ready to be used. Just got to utilise it. I've got other things on the back burners, guys, which is much more greater than this. This is the start of things. But you know what? We need to get somewhere first. We can make Elon Musk look like prehistoric. But you know what? Unless we start raising some funds and start using some of this technology that we've got now grasped in our hands, you know, we're not going to go any further forward. What we need to do is think that we want to be like the rest of our intelligent species out in our universe, high tech, moving forward. It's in our hands right now. Guys, there's a link down there if you want to support the crazy ideas that we have. Most of them are beyond experimental, and we are now today at the forefront of technology. There's a link there if you want to support this grassroots observatory. We can take this much, much further. And I'm talking about better propulsion systems than what Elon Musk is doing. You like the belly flop rocket, and you're prepared to travel on that, carry on. You know what? There's other ways and means of getting things off the ground. But I can't get there with no funds. So with that, have an amazing day. Take care of your loved ones. And as always, bye for now.